Hello and welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. And today I'm going to be doing another puzzle recommended from the Discord server. So I'm looking forward to that because we haven't been let down on that front yet. Now what's going on at the moment? Well, on the Patreon site for a few days we've had my video on how to solve Jurka van Veenendaal's 2 puzzle hunts, which were very popular, and the video on including the solvers of the harder puzzle hunt, the monthly content, has, well, it's had about 3 likes or something, so it hasn't been viewed all that much. But if you had a go at that puzzle hunt, you might want to just check the video to see how some bits of it worked, because the hunt was actually finishable with maybe 1 puzzle undone. Several people wrote that they'd done that. Now, let's get back to today's puzzle, which is called Cage Fight Killer by Scoriano. And I've never heard of Scoriano. He or she, no idea. And this is a fascinating looking construction. The rule set is disarmingly simple. So there's one little killer clue over here, which is the sum of this diagonal, which can include repeats. Now, talking of can include repeats, if you look at, for instance, this marked cage, you'll see that it's 12 cells large. So obviously it's going to include repeats. And indeed, there is no rule about no repeats in this puzzle. The rule for the cages is that whatever the largest digit is, the sum of its appearances in the cage is equal to the sum of all the other numbers in the cage. So whatever the largest digit in the cage is, the sum of its appearances in the cage is equal to the sum of the other numbers in the cage. So it's a pretty simple rule, and it is absolutely stunning to me that this puzzle can exist with one given digit, one little killer clue, and the cage is marked. It's just amazing. Anyway, do have a go on the link below the video if you fancy trying it out. This might, assuming I can get started, this might be one of those where you want to see how you can get started, because at the moment I can't even imagine it, but I'm hoping that some logic will come to mind. And I'm going to have a try now. So let's get cracking. I mean, the first thing that occurs to me is that the little killer clue is almost completely useless, which is incredibly frustrating. I mean, the one solid clue that I know how to use, and it's nothing. The minimal little killer for that 7 cells would be 9, and the maximum would be 61, I think. 42's not quite smack dab in the middle, but far too close to the centre to make that any use at all. So we're going to have to do something with the other rule. Okay, so where a cage is confined within a box, so this one has 4 cells, which okay, 4 cells has to be the maximum that can be confined within a box. Okay, that's quite interesting, because the smallest 3 numbers in it could be 1, 2, and 3, and then the biggest one will have to be a 6, and that can work all the way up to 9. But if you imagine a 5-cell cage in one box, it would have to have at least 1, 2, 3, 4 in it, and then that would have to equal the largest digits. That's not possible. Okay, so that means where there are 5-cell cages, and I can see one of them and a couple of 6s down here, they've got to have 2 instances of the bigger digit, or, well, it could be more. The ones I've highlighted are only across 2 cages, 2 boxes. So this one, whatever the largest digit is, it must appear once in this cell and once in those 2. And I mean, if it was 8, say, then the other 3 cells would have to add up to 16. I mean, there's a lot of, I mean, it doesn't have to be 8, that's just a random. How do we get traction? there's just multiple possibilities for these little ones. Okay, let's have a look at this big one then, this 12 cell, no, let's highlight it correctly, this 12 cell cage. Oh, okay, look, it's got to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 in it, because the 5's given and is not in the cage. So that adds up to 40. Oh, of course, 9 is the biggest digit in this cage, right. So there must be more 9s appearing outside. All 4 9s there would be 36, 76, of which the 9s would be 5 9s, 45, so that's not right. So 3 of these being 9s would mean there were 4 9s in total, making 36. We'd have a total of 27, 67, and we'd need 72. That must be it. So 3 9s and a 5 must be these outer digits that aren't in box 5. Okay, these two both have to be 9 because they can see this 5, and these two are 5 and 9 in some order. It doesn't tell us anything about the ordering of the digits here, apart from that 9 is in one of the corners. Actually, not that one. But, okay, I'm going to mark 9 in one of those 3 cells. Not that useful. So then let's have a look at this next biggest cage. Okay, yes, again, we know that 8 is in it because it includes all of those numbers that add up to 36. Remember, the sum of 1 to 9 is 45, so I'm subtracting 9. These lot add up to 36. And 8s are the biggest digit, so there must be repeated 8s. If there was 1 in there and 1 there, you could get 2 more in. You'd have 4 8s making 32 in a total of 36 plus 3 8s, so 60. And you need to get to 64. So this other digit outside must be a 4 to make that work. And all of these must be 8s. Okay, well, I mean, there is a way to make progress then. And it's got nothing to do with that little killer clue. That'll probably come in at the very end. Okay, then the next biggest cage, I assume this is how we have to keep working. I think it is this one, which goes into 3 boxes. Oh yeah, look, and there's a pattern of 3 cells that you could have a repeated digit in. But could it be 2 9s here and here? 18 that would make. The rest would also have to add up to 18. No, definitely not, because this run of 6 has to add up to a minimum of 21. I don't think you can get 2 8s into this shape. And not that it would matter, because 2 8s wouldn't be enough anyway with that total of 21. In fact, 3 7s is the only way you can do it. You put in your 3 7s there, and this lot do add up to 21, being the absolute minimum. Anything less would be 18. And even though you could now use a 7, you're just not going to get to that total. Oh no, you are. Hang on. Let's check my maths here. No, you're going to overshoot the total with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Yes, that is right. Okay, so we can put in those 7s. That lot adds up to 21. And this cage, well, actually, all these cages, we have worked out what the biggest digit is, pretty much where it appears. Let's remember that 5 and 9 share those 2 cells. What I'm going to do is highlight all the other cages and then kind of make them white to tick them off as we work out, hopefully, what's in them, or what the biggest digit is at least. So I'm going to highlight that lot of cells, which we still have to work out. Right, so we've got 7s. So now let's have a look at this cage, which, again, it's bigger than 4 cells, so it must have it must have a repeated digit. And this one can't be... Oh, well, first of all, do some regular Sudoku. Look at column 8. These have to be 8 and 9. Right, so this cage has to have an 8 or a 9 in it. and it must repeat here, so it can't be 9, it must be 8. We can put in the 8 and 9, and now these other digits have to add up to the sum of the two 8s, so they make 16. And in this box, 16 in those cells, another 24 there, 40. These two add up to 5. But I don't know whether they're 1, 4 or 2, 3. This could be 6, 5, 1 or 5, 1, 4. Oh, okay, but wait, we've got to put a 9 in the final column. Right, we've got 9 there and 9 there. Regular Sudoku gives us a 9 here, which is absolutely crucial, because now this cage, these add up to 9. Now I don't know what they are, but if I add them to the numbers that we've got in the column, that's 33. This lot adds up to 12, and remember this bunch of 4 have to add up to 16, so this must be the 4. We can get rid of 4 and 1 there. Oh, I can white out these cages because we know how they work. In fact, we know that those contain 1, 5, 6 from the box there now. So the remaining cells here are 2, 3, 4, which add up to the 9. And this is 1, 5, 6, which is kind of proof of concept, because everything we've done is still hanging together in that cage as well. That's cool. Okay, so we move on to this 6-cell cage, and it's got a 9 in, so we need another 9 over here, because again it's more than 4 cells, it must have a repeated digit, and those two 9s add up to 18, so these two add up to 5. The other 2 cells here that aren't a 9 must add up to 13. Oh look, that 9, though 9 is in one of those 2 cells. We don't know which one it is, but they both see these 2, so I can fill in a 9 in the central box. That's a 5 for various reasons. That makes this a 9 for the maths we did on the central box earlier. Now, what I was just saying is these 3 cells consist of a 9 and 2 digits that add to 13. They can't be 9 and 4, they can't be 5 and 8 because of that 5, so it's 9, 7, 6. This one can't be a 7, this one can't be a 9. I'm going to wipe them all out because we know the makeup of this box in full. Let's get rid of the corner marking as well. And we really are cooking with gas now. Now, what's this one? 4 cells. Oh, look, the remaining 5 digits in the box are 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. Well, 8's got to be in this. It's got to be the total of the other 3. And they must be 1, 3, 4, because that's the only way to make them up from 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is a 2, the remaining digit in the box. But that's only in a 3-cell cage. I don't think that's as helpful as everything else has been. Should I be doing regular Sudoku and scanning? Don't think so yet. Okay, let's have a look at let's have a look at this, which is the last 5 or 6 cell cage. So we know again it's more than 4. It's got a repeated digit. 7, 6, 5 all fit the bill. Oh, look at this one though. Right. Now, this could... No, I'll tell you what. This has got a repeated digit. This is the way to look at it. That repeated digit has to both be in those cells and in those cells. So it can't be 8 or 9. It has to be less than that. But 7 cannot be in this spot, in this cage. Why not? Because if 7 was in it, the other 3 would be 1, 2, and 4, and there's already a 4 in the box. So 7 in this box must be in those 3 cells, and because it's the maximum for those 2, that is the highest digit. It must appear there and in one of those 2. And the other 3 cells here must add up to 14. Well, now we know 9 is not in these cells, obviously, because 7 is the highest digit. So 9 is in one of these. All these 4 cells add up to 18, 26, 30, 37. So these 2 add up to 8, either 2, 6 or 3, 5. And we need to add up to 14 the digits that aren't 7. So they add up to 8, and there must be a 6 in there with the 7. So that's not 6, 2, it's 3, 5, because there's a 6 in one of these. Okay, so 3, 5, 7, 4, 8, this is 9, 1, 2, 6, that makes sense, that works as a cage in this Sudoku. So let's white those out. Now, 3 cells here from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, could be 1, 4, 5, 2, 3, 5, or 1, 3, 4. Not very helpful. Oh, but 7, regular Sudoku, 7 there and 7 there. 7 can't be there because of that 7. So 7 is in this cage with the 2. So it's either 2 and 7 equals 9, but there's already a 9 in the column. So it's 2 and 5 equals 7, and that's another cage crossed off. 5, 7, 9, 8. Oh, these are from... Oh, they must contain a 3, and the others are from 1, 2, 4, 6. I think that must be 1, 3, 4. Yes. So that's another cage done. The 1 is not there, that's a 2, 6 pair. So there's a 1, 9 pair here. This cage is... No, hang on, it's not done. But it must include 2 and 5. Therefore it must include 3 as well. That must be right. I'm suddenly getting very nervous about all the maths I've done in case I've made a mistake, but we shall see. So 3 is in there, 3 is not there, this is a 3. Now, is that going to work for the remaining 2 cages here? We've got 9, 8, 6, 4, 2, 1. Well, the 9, well, it's got to have an odd number contribute. 9, 8, 1 must be one of the cages. Could be 9, 1, 8, or almost any there. 6, 4, 2 is the other. Yeah, that works. Okay, this is great. At least it works. Now, I don't know how they are set up there, but one of them is 9, 8, 1, and one is 6, 4, 2. Right, so now... Oh, I'd forgotten the little killer clue completely. What's the maximums down here? 5, 13, 17, 26, 34, 43, 46. 4 degrees of freedom. So that can't be 1 or 3, but the rest I can't determine yet. Maybe I'm going to have to leave that still to the end, but I'm not quite sure what I can do. I suppose 8's across the middle, must be in there somewhere. 8's up here in one of those cells. Just trying to do a bit of regular Sudoku. 7's in one of those two. Oh, okay, 7 down the middle column. Where's it going to go? It can't be in the top 2 cells because of those 7's. Can't be there because of that one. And it's not in any of those. So 7 in the middle column is here. That fixes the 6, 7 pair. I just don't feel like I've got a lot of information though still. 9, 8. I just can't use the boxes anymore. I keep looking at these little killer cages, but I've used them. There's nothing more to learn. Right, I just have to do... Oh, look, 3 is looking at that cell. Okay, it's like, you know, scanning a grid that someone has sent in with their pencil marks. It's almost as if I didn't make these at all. 2, is that useful? No. 4 can't be there. 3 and 3, regular Sudoku, so that's a 3. Is that helpful? Not very. 6, 7, 9. Oh, 6, 7, 9, so that's not 7. Okay, that's 7. What about 6? 6 is in one of those 2 cells. In the middle box, But 6 in this row, well, it has to be in one of those two. Actually, that must mean it's there, because it can't be there, because then you couldn't get a 6 in this cage. So 6 can go in there. Let's take it out of these other cells. 6, 7, 9. Is that the only kind of triple I've got looking at stuff? It is. Well, what about these then? One of them is 9, 8, 1, and one is 6, 4, 2. Now the 8 has to be in one of those two. Oh, so does the 4. That's not even very helpful. But you've got 4 and 8 looking at that group of cells. If the 4 was there, you've got 6, 2. That works fine. If the 8 was there, you've got 9. You cannot have 9, 1 there, because there's one of those up here. So 4, 6, 2 is the right disposition there. That's the 8. 9 and 1 are a pair there. We're going to take out the last of the purple cells. 7, 5, 6, 2. Right, but we've got these digits. Surely that's helpful. No 6 there. That 8 means that's a 4 colour. 4. That's on the little killer diagonal. And that's not the big number. I think these are all maximum now. 5, 13, 17, 26, 30, 39, 42. Yes. Finally, that last clue comes into play. Now the rest has got to be classic Sudoku, I think. That triple's done. This triple's done as well. That fixes the 9, 1 pair. And I think almost all of these bottom 3 boxes are done now. Just 1 pair left. That's a 1. 2 is not in those, so we can put in 3 and 5 and 2. That's a 3 now. 9, 1. First 2 columns done. Left with another pair. That is looked at by 3 and 4, so it's a 2. That fixes the whole of the final column. This 1 and 5, they're not done. Bother. But 2 and 4 can't be there. 3 can't be there. 2 or 1? No, that can't be 4 or 5. This can't be 6. We are nearly there now, but I still need to break through this a bit. That's not 1 or 5. That's not 3 or 5. 2 in this row has to be here. Only place it can be. So 2, 2. One of these is a 2, which doesn't look that helpful till you realise it means this isn't a 2. So that's a naked single 1 now. And surely we are getting closer. Closer maybe. That's not a 5. Yeah, we knew one of those was a 5. That's not all that helpful. This one is a naked single 8. Naked singles to the rescue again. 1 or 6, 7, 2, 5, 8, 9. One of these must be 1 because that one is ruled out from there. Now that's helpful because it sorts out our pair at the bottom. 8 and 1. This is the 8 now because we've got 8 there and there, ruling out these 2. That gives us this as a 2, which fixes the 6, 2 pair. 6 in box 2 must be there. Still, that makes this a 1. Okay, 6 goes here now. That fixes this 3, and we can put the 6 in to finish the row, 4 to finish that row, 3 to finish that box, 4 to finish the column, 3 and 5. This must be the 5. Lovely. 3. What a brilliant puzzle to conceive that and then execute it like that with just those 3 big cages. Their geometry mattered so much, but it took something to see that. Brilliant puzzle by Scoriano. Thank you very much to the Discord moderators for recommending it, and well, for everybody who voted for it and so on. That's been really good. Hope you enjoyed that. I can't see how you wouldn't. That's such a clever puzzle. And thank you very much for joining us. Hope to see you again soon on Cracking the Cryptic. Bye for now.